Hello everyone. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about your static RAM memory and also its working, but not in much detail. So in this class, I will try to cover up various aspects as far as your read operation is being concerned, some designing issues are being concerned. So all of them will be covered in this particular class. So let's start. So first thing that is of importance as far as your SRAM is being concerned is that two basic requirements which dictate WL ratio. That means whenever you want to design SRAM, there are two basic requirements that will decide how much WL ratio you should keep for all of them. As it is not a random thing that you have any WL ratio for these transistors, it should be in some order. So that's very important. And what is the reason for keeping that eye on your WL ratio? Uh, that is non-destructive data read operation. That while you are reading the data, the contents of the nodes should not be altered. And also, another thing that is very important is when you are actually writing, then modifying the stored data during the write phase. So if one is there, you want to write 0, then it is called modification. So two things are involved. First thing is the data read operation should be non-destructive, and other thing is that you will be able to modify. So this can be only achieved when we have a good WL ratio. So that's very, very important. So now here you can see that we are going towards read operation when 0 is stored. So when 0 is stored here, we know that this is being pre-charged lines. So 0 is being stored here at this particular node. So this is actually acting as input for this. So that means this is 0, so this is on and this is off. And simultaneously, the output of this is going to 1. So 1 is actually acting as input of this. So M1 is on, M6 is on, while M5 and M2 is off. Now, so this is what they have given, that M3 and M1 conduct some current. Yeah, they will conduct because they are on. But on the other hand, VCC drops slightly and V1 increases not to turn on. So that is very important, that when we talk about node 1, what happens? This VCC, what is being stored here, will drop slightly. Why? Because some of the things, there is some fluctuation here because this is 0. This is 0 volt. This is high voltage. This is on. So some of the voltage will try to move to this particular thing, carriers. But it should not be so much high, because if this is more than a particular level, what happens? This M2 will be on. And if this M2 will be on, then this will becomes 0. So that is to be taken care of, that this discharge is not as much, so that this becomes 1. And if this becomes 1, then this is actually acting as input for this. So if this is increasing a beyond level, that means threshold voltage of M2. If this voltage increases beyond threshold voltage of M2, M2 turns on and thus your this particular transistor is on. And what does happens in that case? There is a connection between VDD and this one becomes 0. And they occurs in opposites. If this is 1, this is 0. If this is 0, this is 1. So that is how contents will be changed. So that is during read operation, to avoid that if there is any content change, or to avoid such things, what we actually want, we want this 0 to be 0. So that means designing is in accordance so that the contents will not be changed. And that is how things are being achieved. So in this case, what is being achieved, that M3 should be in saturation and M1 in linear. So that is the primitive requirement, that this should be in saturation while M1 should be in linear region. Linear region. So V1 max should be less than VT2. That means the maximum voltage at this node should be less than threshold voltage of this MOS. And also we know this and this is in saturation, this is linear. So whatever current come here will be grounded. So that means this current is equal to this current. So this gives you ratio. That means to have this particular condition being met, what you're supposed to do is WL ratio of this transistor over WL ratio of this transistor should follow this particular condition. If they are following this condition, then there is no destruction as far as your read operation is being concerned. So we have discussed about read operation and all, and how we are actually going to design them. How are we actually going to select the WL ratio? Because as far as any design in MOS is being concerned or CMOS is being concerned, the most important point that a designer look forward is that WL ratio. So the WL ratio is selected in such a pattern that this particular condition can be met. So what is the condition? Condition is that this and this should have a particular WL ratio, and that is being selected with the help of this particular expression. Although this need to be derived, but right now you're undergraduate student, so you can directly use this particular expression, because we are not studying design thing. We are just going through various aspects that what is inside this particular subject. Otherwise, even SRAM took entire semester if you want to study in detail. So many things are there in SRAM. Okay, now design strategy. If one is being stored, then what should be the design strategy? The previous one is if zero is being stored. So here you can see that if one is stored in this particular node, then M2 is on, M5 is on, and to keep these things intact, said that there should not be any sort of alteration, then M1 and M6 should be off. So what you can see that M3 and M5 should have a particular relation. So from here you can find out that your M5 is in saturation mode, while your M3 is in linear mode. So we equate these two equations, and this gives you this particular expression M5 and WL ratio for MOSFET 5 and MOSFET 3. So if you keep this particular condition being met, then there should not be no problem of destruction of the data. So they are actually saying write zero operation. So initially what they are saying that one was stored at node 1. Now they want to write 1. So V1 must be reduced to below VT2. So this point need to be then what happens? You are actually supposed to turn off M2, and V2 rises and V1 falls. So V2 rises and V1 falls. So this is need to be achieved. So when V1 is equal to VTN, this particular voltage, then M3 is in linear and M5 is in saturation. So after that, this condition need to be met. So if you are meeting this condition, then you are actually going to perform or achieve this particular condition. Otherwise it will not be. So 1 to 0. So if we want to discuss this in simpler ways, you are already having 1 here and you want to make it 0. So what you actually have to do, you have to do simply turn on this. So here first thing is these bit lines need to be charged. This bit line needs to be charged, and this you have to make 0. And when this word line is on, what happens? This one will get a path to discharge through this. And when it is discharged, this becomes 0. So when this becomes 0, so this M2 is off, M6 is on, and M1 is on. So when this condition is there, so 0 is being written and it will be retained unless and until we forcibly changed the data using these lines. So that is very important as far as your write operation is being included. The only thing you have to do is you have to maintain a WL ratio in accordance with this relation. So if this is maintained, there should not be any sort of violation as far as read or write operation is being concerned. So SRAM cell analysis for write operation. So here you can see that write effective, then what are the conditions that need to be met. So this we have already discussed in the previous slides, but here they have discussed which transistors are on and which are off. So here you can see when 0 is there, these two things are being on and these two things are being on. Other transistors are off. So there are certain issues as far as uh, SRAM cell is being concerned, that keeping cell size minimized is critical for large caches. Cache memory is very important as far as your handheld devices are being concerned. So cell size should be minimum. Then minimum sized pull down, because M1 and M3 are being basically used to pull down the charge to 0. So they requires minimum width longer than the minimum channel transistor to ensure proper CR. And also sizing of pass transistor increases capacitive load on the word lines and limits the current discharge on the bit lines. So this can be a other thing, that how you are actually going to make these are your basically pass transistors, these M3 and M5 4. So if you increase them, they are actually putting your capacitive load onto the thing. So that need to be there. And this is what being discussed here. So, but cell size is being reduced to a greater extent, but not a certain extent. There should be some limitations, which will be discussed in the future course, which you study after your digital integrated circuits. So that's all as far as your SRAM is being concerned, basic cell is being concerned. This is the overall cell, which is actually giving you the working. So here you can see this is your SRAM cell. This is being used as bit lines, and this is being used to write the data. What data you are actually going to write, whether you are going to write 0 or 1. So this entire circuitry is being used. So this is how your SRAM actually works. Actually working took so much time, but taking into consideration the scarcity of time, what we have actually done, we have gone through into the basic element of your SRAM. So that's all as far as SRAM is being concerned. In the coming classes, we will be discussing about your non-volatile memory. So if you have any doubt, you are free to discuss.